Hey, what's going on, CoinOpTV subscribers? Robert Welkney here. In this video, I want to talk about For All Mankind Episode 5, which is called Into the Abyss on Apple TV Plus. If you're brand new, I've been reviewing all these Apple TV Plus shows, and they have spoilers. So you've been warned if you're watching Episode 5 video and you haven't seen some of the other ones. Check them out on Apple TV Plus. So let's get started with sort of the main bullet points, the main details. I got them on my show notes here. So basically, we're up in space. Ed, Molly, and Frank are in the Apollo 15. They're off to the moon. There's the media's watching, the families are watching, everybody's paying attention. Everything is going off without a hitch. There's no complications. It's almost like they've done this millions of times before, and there's no problems or no issues. So hey, Apollo 15, they're going up there to land on the moon. Ed decides that he wants to switch over to a different landing site to see if there's some ice or some water on the moon. That seems to be a big concern. The military, Nixon, they want to get in and get a base camp by potential water or ice, so that they can sort of be there and build their habitat ring and get their missiles and stuff on there. So Ed's like, all right, heck, I'm a risk taker and I'm gonna go for it and make it happen. So not everybody's quite on board with this, but they sort of allow it and they agree to it. I mean, I guess he's the controlling guy up there. I mean, it takes kind of a little bit of a mini vote, and Molly gives him kind of the nod of approval. So again, it seems like all this goes off without a hitch. The CGI and the computer graphics when they're in space and they're landing on the moon is so dull and uninteresting. It looks very cheap. It's not very cinematic at all. It's almost like maybe they should have just not done some of this stuff and just shown us close-ups of people's faces and reactions, and not even showing like the CGI, because it just looks really bad. I mean, I feel like some really low-end production studio. Apologies if I'm insulting any company that made this CGI and the effects, but man, when the Apollo 15 is landing on the moon and we're on the moon and all that, it just looks laughable. It looks like a bad TV show or something. So that's a knock there. And these are some pretty quality actors we get to see in the show. And then you see that and you're just like, what the heck? What the heck, man? So, okay, so we got some big long scenes of some families gathered around in Ed's wife's house there. They're all watching the landing, and they're sort of checking things out. Nothing really interesting going on there, except for Molly's husband shows up and there's some interaction there. And then Ed's wife, I'm forgetting Ed's wife's name, sort of finds out that Molly's husband is a hippie, and she wants to sort of explore that a little more. She actually goes to his house, and she's like, hey, you smell like pot and marijuana and stuff. And we have to remember this is kind of in the 70s, and marijuana wasn't quite legalized and sort of stuff. And of course that'll jeopardize kind of Molly and the space program if she's technically on drugs or something. So that's a little bit of concern. But he's like, dude, you don't get it. My wife's up there in space. She could die. Like, this is how I relate and stuff. So that was kind of interesting, sort of getting that little dynamic there. I feel like more time was spent on Earth than actually in space. I mean, I didn't really time it out, but I was just like, it's a show about, space, the moon, and the landing, and we're spending a heck of a lot of time on Earth. There's, again, like I was saying, there's a lot of pressure to find if there's ice on the moon and stuff. So there's this crater that they land near, and they're like, hey, I don't know, it's kind of deep. Should we get in there? And Molly's like, heck, I'll go. I'm the lightest. You can pull me up if there's any trouble. There's a little disagreements there. And so Molly decides that they're going to go down on a rope and a winch and check things out. And she kind of hacks away and finds some ice, and everybody's celebrating. And it's funny, she's actually like live streaming inside this crater on the moon to Earth, and the picture quality of that almost looks better than some YouTube videos that I watch nowadays. I thought that was kind of funny how great the live stream into the moon, into space, going that far distance was, and everything. So that got me a little bit of a chuckle. But so success. Like I said, everything kind of goes off without a hitch. She finds the ice, brings it back into the little shuttle pod there, and they're going to go back, I guess, to Earth, and everybody's going to be happy. In fact, we actually jump ahead 2 years with the habitat structure landing on the moon next to the crater there where they've sort of found the ice. So boom, now we're already 2 years in advance. We don't even get to see the team coming back to Earth and how that went and the reaction and the readjusting to being on the moon. It's really weird that just the decision to jump ahead 2 years. So now what? We've had a success. Is the show over for All Mankind episode 5? Is that the final episode? We got a man, a woman from the States on the moon. We got the habitat ring on there, a habitat structure. We found ice and water. So the reason why we want the ice and water is so we don't have to drag that up there, so that if people can live longer and sustain on the moon with the water that they have there, that's kind of the importance there. So I don't know. I'm watching the show. I like space and astronaut and moon landing stuff, but man, For All Mankind is probably one of the worst shows on Apple TV Plus, and it's kind of a little bit of a struggle to actually sit through these. I mean, there is some interesting things that happen here and there. One of my favorite characters, the Tracy Stevens, was hardly in this episode at all. She should be the star of the show. She should be in every episode with Joel Kinnaman's character Ed, and it should be them. I mean, no offense to Molly and Frank on the show, but I need some more of them, So anyway, so that's what I thought for All Mankind episode 5. We'll see how things go. We got a few more episodes to end big or peter out and fizzle and be like one of these shows that nobody ever talks about, nobody ever cares. We'll kind of see how things go. Apple TV Plus, give us some more quality shows. We're ready. We're ready for some quality shows given to us. So if you guys are brand new, please subscribe and like this video and all that jazz for CoinOpTV. We'll see you next time.